Liverpool travelled to Real Madrid, folks, and it was not the result that we wanted. That first half performance will be one that leaves us all feeling very, very angry. Second half was a lot better, but you have to say Madrid deserved their 3-1 win. And anybody who says any different, I think is just kidding themselves. I don't know what the hell happened in that first 45 minutes. We were dreadful. Right from the off, we were giving the ball away. We weren't pressing with enough intensity. We weren't doing the things we needed to do. Sloppy in possession. It was a simple, straight ball over the top that cut us open as well. And Vinicius Jr. with a great finish, but there was so much we could have done better in that game. And it leaves you asking again about team selection. I can't be a hypocrite and say that I didn't say that Naby could have offered us a lot in the middle of that pitch when I seen the starting 11, but at the end of the day he was awful, and you look to the manager and you hope that he has the guts to understand it was a wrong decision. He did. He made the change and Thiago came on with about 4 or 5 minutes to go before half time. Real Madrid carved us open time after time after time in that first half, down Trent's side. They were having a field day with Mondi and with Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. for me was the best player on the park by a country mile. We go in at half-time 2-0 down, and a calamity of errors. As I said, the first goal, it was one strike. Tony Kroos must have had a field day in that first half. He must have been sitting there counting his lucky chickens with the amount of times he had the opportunity to get his pitching wedge of a right foot out and pick that straight ball over the top. He played one ball, Vinicius Jr. shoulders it, and I wonder why Phillips didn't drag him down. Vinicius Jr. Call me a cynic, but this is the Champions League. We see Madrid players going to ground left, right and centre when they got a little touch. That's what happens. This is European football. So I wonder why Phillips didn't drag him by the shoulder on the edge of the box. He wouldn't have been sent off because Trent was right beside him, so there was another covering man. But they allowed young Vinicius Jr. to get between the two of them, chest the ball down, well, hit off his shoulder, bring it down and bury it past Alisson 1-0. So that could have been prevented in a number of ways. The second goal was an out-and-out joke. Trent heads the ball to Asensio. Asensio lifts the ball over the oncoming Alisson, glances back over his shoulder, maybe to wink at Alisson, I don't know, or have a look, and he plays it into the open net. And we're 2-0 down. The tie's looking potentially dead and buried, and we're all sitting around going, what the hell is going on? Thankfully, we got into half-time and limited the damage. Whatever Klopp said in the second half, we looked a better team in the second half. We got the vital away goal. And the reason I'm saying it's vital is the difference between a 2-0 loss away from home and a 3-1 loss away from home can be massive, because it gives you a little bit more wiggle room at home if you are to concede. So as things stand, it's an ask, but a 2-0 win at Anfield would put us through. We're not dead and out of this tie. We've known this before with Liverpool in Europe. Do not give up on us, because we aren't out of it. Madrid deserve their win on the night. I'm not trying to come on here and rewrite history. The other game finished up with Manchester City beating Dortmund by 2-1. They must have got a late goal there. So Dortmund had their away goal as well in that one. I'm fuming. I'm absolutely fuming at the first half performance. I mean, I've calmed down from the live reaction, but I'm absolutely fuming with what I seen in that first 45 minutes. To build up all week, knowing that this was our mini season, this was the chance to resurrect something from what's been a horrendous campaign, and to go out and for Naby Keita and Trent to have the first 45 that they had. Not only them, by the way, I don't mean to just pin it on them. Fabinho and Wijnaldum weren't great in that first 45 either. We created absolutely nothing. They had makeshift centre-backs and we gave them nothing to worry about. Second half, I calmed me down a little bit. We got that all-important goal. We couldn't hold them though. We still gave them another opportunity. Vinicius Jr. put the ball in, and do I think that Alisson could have done better? Yes, I do. I do think he could have done better. But that being said, these moments are preventable. Modric was given too much time inside the penalty area to pick out the pass. But we did push, we did press, and we did try and find another goal. Klopp did bring on Shaqiri, he brought on Firmino, and he looked to try and grab something else from the game. The most important thing is we didn't concede a fourth. So we're still in this tie. We need to be an awful lot better, 100% better in the next leg. We've got a week and a day to sort this out. There needs to be some leadership shown. Somebody needs to stand up in that dressing room and let it be known who let the team down. Let it be known what was wrong. And we need to see a group of leaders out there. And Thiago has to start the second game. He has to start the second game. We need Firmino, Jota, Mane and Salah all to start the second game. But we need to start looking at creating in different ways. We can't simply be relying on diagonal balls and crosses into the box. We've seen what direct running can do. We've seen what Vinicius Jr.'s pace and Mondi's pace could do for Real Madrid down their left-hand side. We need more direct running. We need to think creatively in different ways of how we can attack teams. Our own high line was used against us today over and over again because of Vinicius Junior's pace. Yet we defend against teams who sit deep, and we can create that space in between the lines, but we need midfielders with creativity. We need midfielders who can get on the front foot and exploit that space. A David Silva type player, somebody who can find space between the lines and unlock defences. How Klopp goes about this, that's why he gets paid the big bucks. I'm just a mere fan here giving my opinion. I will go through my player ratings in a second as well, and of course I'll go into the chat to see how you guys feel, but you know, that was a game of two halves for me massively. First 45 minutes was an utter shambles and in no way acceptable. Second 45 minutes was better. I mean, it was the 13 times champions of Europe, 6 times champions of Europe, but only one team showed up in that first 45 minutes. We showed them far too much respect. I mean, if Madrid or if Kiev didn't bring back memories, didn't get emotion in these players, didn't get them pumped up for this game, I don't know what will. Now, the good news, it's not dead and buried. There is a second leg to come, but we've got a bit of a mountain to climb. And these boys, I don't want to hear the bullshit in social media. I don't want to hear that we know we have a job to do. I don't want to hear anything. I want to see it on the pitch, because that's the only place it counts, is out on the pitch. That away goal, though, we can thank our lucky stars for that, because that away goal has given us a lifeline, folks. I would have felt very, very uncomfortable even losing that game 2-0. The away goal could be a huge factor in this tie, but we need to step it up in the second leg, and we need to show them less respect. We need to be in their faces, and we need to play like we believe we're going to win that game. Now, Jurgen Klopp has some tough decisions to make. He knows who let him down. He knows who can't be relied upon, and he needs to be ruthless, because our season's on the line here. We could potentially make top 4, but this club isn't about making top 4. This club is about collecting silverware, and these boys, I believe they can do it. I really, really do. But it needs to be an awful lot better, ladies and gentlemen, than that first 45 minutes today. And again, you look at team selections. It's easy for me in hindsight to sit here and talk about Keita. But I understood the decision. I understood that Jurgen Klopp looked at Naby Keita with Gini Wijnaldum and Fabinho and thought they might have the legs on Modric and Kroos in that midfield. They might be able to overrun them, overwork them. But it simply wasn't the case. Toni Kroos had time after time after time to play that ball. Modric was dropping into spaces. We weren't picking up men. Madrid, when they got forward, they broke forward in numbers, whereas we seemed to counter-attack or win the ball back, and there was no one around for support. Wrong decision-making at times as well. Mane's going through a difficult patch right now. Excuse me. And you know what? I'm going to say this very clearly so it can't be misconstrued. The referee was a disgrace, but for both sides. I'm not saying he screwed us. I'm saying that referee should be pulled out of the rest of the Champions League, because how Madrid didn't get a penalty, I will never know, because you can show me that replay 50 times and I will still say the same thing. Benzema was fouled. We got away with that. But every single time we were fouled around the edge of the Madrid box, we got nothing. Not a single thing. Vinicius Junior bought a yellow card by diving to the ground when Trent brushed him off here and he goes down holding his face and the ref bought it. He couldn't give free kicks out quick enough every time a set piece from us came into the box. And again, Madrid had a few decisions go against them as well. So I'm not saying the ref changed the course of this game. I'm not trying to say it's not our fault that we were shit. I'm just saying that ref was a joke for both sides, and I mean for both sides. I'm going to go through and do my player ratings now, and see if I can, salvage somewhat of a bit of an ounce of credibility for any of these boys out there. But look, let's be at it. Alisson Becker, 6. And here's why I'm giving him a 6. I think he could have stopped that third goal. I think he could have. I really do. I think he should have done better. And other than that, I don't really remember him making many saves. There was one from Vinicius Junior, he touched around the post. But other than that, there was nothing spectacular that he shouldn't have done. So yeah, a 6 for him. Trent for right back. This is a difficult one, because he was horrendous, but he was also a massive instrumental part of our goal. But can I let that go aside? No, I can't. I can't just let that cover up. He did some good things, but he was also torn a new one down that left side, particularly in the first 45 minutes. I'm going to give Trent a 5. I think it was not good enough from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's capable of a lot more. Ozan Kabak for me, I'm going to give a 7. He did make a couple of little errors, but he was also really, really important in decisive moments in stepping in and shouldering out Vinicius Jr., seeing him off the pitch, stepping across and making some last-ditch tackles. And I'm going to give a 6 to Nat Phillips, who aerially I thought did a lot, but was exposed with Trent Alexander-Arnold massively for that first goal from Vinicius Jr. Both of them should have done an awful lot better. Robbo had another average game. A 6 for Robbo. His crossing just wasn't at it. Every time he put a cross in, it wasn't getting past the first man. Couldn't pick a player out, whether it be from deep or whether he'd be gone around the outside. So I'm going to give him a 6 as well. Fabinho in midfield. We know what he's capable of. We've seen what he's done since he's gone back into that midfield. But today, again, second half a lot better. You're hearing a lot of 6s, but it's going to be another 6. Gini Wijnaldum, 5. I thought Gini had a bang average game in that midfield. Naby Keita, 2. Yeah, I said it, 2. And that's being generous, because he doesn't even deserve a 2. The only reason he even got a 2 was because there was one bit of good play from him in and around the Madrid box when he did a couple of a step over and went past a couple of players. Other than that, he was awful. Gave the ball away time and time again, looked disinterested, and didn't belong on that pitch. I've been somebody who's fought to defend Naby Keita time and time again, and he is fit. His body's not letting him down. His performance let him down today, and that's why I'm being so harsh on him, because that was unacceptable in every way, shape or form. Moving a little bit further up the pitch, Mohamed Salah, he got himself a goal, tried to get involved in things, but look, we didn't create too much, did we? So because he got the goal, and because of that only, I'm going to give Mohamed Salah a 7. Moving through then, Diogo Jota worked hard, works tirelessly as always, drops deep when needs to, always looking for the ball. You could see a bit of fatigue setting in as well as the game went on, which is why Jurgen Klopp brought Bobby Firmino on. So I'm going to give Diogo Jota a 6.5 because I don't think he was the worst of the front three, but he didn't set the world alight either. Did play an important part in the goal, albeit his shot was deflected, allowed Salah to get on the end of it. We all had that nervy moment where we wondered, was Mohamed Salah going to be onside? Was he going to be offside? It seemed to take an eternity for the referee and VAR to make their mind up. And eventually the goal was given. We thought we had redemption. And the last one, Sadio Mane, a 6. Again, you get some good stuff from Sadio, but then you get some ridiculous decision making. His ability to keep the ball in possession at times when he doesn't pass it is great, but then sometimes you see him take too much out of it. And he was fouled a couple of times and didn't get free kicks, but we were on counter attacks. He needs to release the ball quicker at some time. So I'm going to give Mane a 6, and I feel like I'm being generous giving him a 6. You know what? I'm downgrading him to a 5.5. Yeah, I'm going to be truthful. A 5.5 for him. Substitution wise, Thiago, solid 7. I thought he made us tick when he came on. You could see that we were moving the ball a lot quicker. We wrestled back somewhat control of the midfield when he came on, particularly in the second half. Shaqiri looked bright, buzzed around decent enough when he came on. Again, he only has that one cross, doesn't he, where he cuts back onto his left foot and tries to curl one into the edge of the 6-yard box. Let's give him a 6. And Bobby Firmino, a 6 as well. Worked hard when he came on, dropped deep, tried to link up play. But look, none of those players deserve that really tonight, because they let us down again. They let themselves down again. They let their manager down again. But we're still in the tie. That is the important part. We are still in this tie. And if we can somehow pull out a performance at Anfield, we may get through. But I'm not being arrogant. We have a lot of hard work to do here, because we deserve to lose that game. You know, we can make all the excuses in the world we want. Madrid were the better team. Vinicius Jr. was the standout player by a mile. And we gave him too much respect. And every time I seen that smug twat sitting up in the stands, it drove me further and further into anger. But yet the players didn't seem to give a shit. The players in the first half seemed to just allow Madrid to just boss them. They didn't remember 2018. They didn't remember what happened in that game. They didn't remember the keeper getting an elbow. They didn't remember Salah being fouled. They didn't remember that memory. Or at least they didn't give a shit. I don't know whether they didn't remember it or they hadn't got the heart to fight. But that's what you need to wear this shirt. You need to fight for that game. In the first half, they didn't do it. They were out-muscled, out-wrestled, out-taught, outplayed. Everything. Madrid were just by far the better side in the first 45 minutes. I'm going to hand it over to you guys and see what you think. We deserve to lose by more than 2, said Jack O'Connell. I hate Liverpool, but Mane 8.5 out of 10. How? What did he do for the 8.5 out of 10? What did he set up? What did he make their keeper do? What did he do? I genuinely would love to know. One good game Trent has and everyone thinks he's world class. He is world class. And if you don't understand that he's world class, then you don't understand the sport, fella. Now, Gareth Southgate might not think he fits into the way England want to play, and as Klopp said, that's Gareth Southgate's decision. But to sit and say that somebody who's reinvented the position, who's put up numbers like Trent's put up, isn't world class, then shame on you, lad. Because I can admit when other players are world class, but clearly, show some respect. The lad is, and look at what age he is as well, and what he's already achieved. He had a mare in the first half. I'll be the first one to admit that. But come on, be fair. On the counter-attack, Keita put in no effort, said Evan. Trent was decent, bar that one moment. No, he wasn't, mate. There was far more than one moment. There's the header he set up for Asensio. There's the fact that himself and Phillips were caught letting Vinicius Jr. get between them for the first goal. There was misplayed passes. There was crosses that went awry. I could keep going here, but, I'm being realist. He pulled it out in the second half and he was much better. He made a great interception to stop Real Madrid when it looked like there was going to be a certain tap in at the far post. He stepped across, defended it well, and put it behind for a corner. So he did up his game in the second half, no doubt about that. You were outplayed, but the away goal kept you in there, said Jens. I don't disagree, mate. I think you've got it spot on. We were outplayed. And Madrid exploited our high line very well with the pace that they had. The quality of Toni Kroos being able to put the ball in behind, and the absolute blistering pace as well of Vinicius Jr. and Asensio played well. And I give Madrid all the credit. I really do. I don't mean to underplay what they've done. They deserve their win. But I'm a Liverpool fan, so I look at this from our perspective to see what we can do. And nobody really stepped up today. We should be looking at signing or Sligo prospect Edmund Fox. I don't know who the fuck that is, to be honest with you, mate. Why do so many people hate us and our youngsters? I don't know, mate, but don't pay them any heed. I still feel confident. I think the occasion got to us. That's the worrying thing, though. Who was it? Sam. It's the worrying thing, mate. I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way, mate, because I don't know what went wrong there, but to say the occasion got to us, I mean, a lot of these players are experienced. Yeah, for Phillips and Kabak, this was a new thing, but the rest of those lads out there have played in massive, massive games, and it wasn't in the Bernabeu. It was in, the Di Stefano Stadium, their B-team stadium, because the work has been done in the Bernabeu, so, I don't know, the intimidating factor shouldn't have been there for me. Maybe those white shirts have the lads scared, I don't know. But we need to sort it out before the second leg because we showed them far too much respect out there tonight. Can we get Curtis Jones some minutes at least? Yeah, look, there's a shout for that, mate. Maybe the petulance of youth in Curtis Jones as well. Maybe he won't have the same fear that some of them showed. Somebody said Klopp's been figured out and exposed as the hit and hope horizontal long ball merchant I've always seen him for. It's not true, mate. You don't win Premier League titles, European Cups, have the German national team begging for you to become their manager, be named the best manager in the world, win the league in Germany with Dortmund and the cup in Germany with Dortmund, win the Club World Cup with Liverpool. You don't do that by being a hit and hope merchant, mate. You don't like Klopp, fair enough. But to just have him down as tactically naive and inept is just ridiculous in every way, shape or form. You ask every manager in the world. You ask Pep Guardiola. You ask Ancelotti. You ask any top manager. Zidane, name them if Klopp's a good manager. And they'll all tell you yes. So that tells you one thing, Manny. You're either just hateful of Liverpool or you're an idiot. But either way, mate, you're absolutely incorrect. Has he made mistakes? Yes. And we will pull him up on those mistakes. But you, sir, clearly just don't understand the game. So cop on and shut up. If Varane is back for the home leg, it's going to be even harder to score, said Evan. Do you think in the second half Trent was alright? He was better. Absolutely better. Mane is greedy, by the way. I agree with Ahmed there. I know he spammed it, so his comment was deleted. But at times, yes, Sadio Mane should have released the ball a lot quicker. He should have. He took a bit too much out of the ball at times. Liverpool players need to fix their attitudes. I mean, whatever about some of them, but Keita's was shocking. That was a career low for me for Naby Keita tonight. I mean, I see nothing. No effort. Nothing. That I could, and I've been a defender of his for a very long time, but that wasn't good enough. When Yalden was out there with the armband on, showed no leadership. Fabinho, no leadership. Nobody stood out there like a senior pro to me tonight. Nobody. Now, there was a good shout from somebody to bring Jimmy Milner on, and I thought that might have been a decent shout when we got to 2-1 to try and at least keep it at that. But we went 3-1 down, and then the manager had no choice but to add attacking options and try and wrestle back a goal. You're not hateful, nor are you an idiot. Well, I disagree. I think you are hateful, and I think you're an idiot. But that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it the exact same way you're entitled to yours. So there you go, mate. You think you're not an idiot, I think you are an idiot. You think you know about football, I think you know fuck all about football. In fact, I think Klopp's forgotten more about football than you'll ever know, mate. But that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. Same way I'm entitled to sit here and tell you you're wrong. Brendan O'Brien said, I've always supported Mane, he's my favourite of the front three, but the last 3 months he's a disgrace, doesn't seem to care, which I don't accept. Yeah, he wound me up a bit there, Brendan, mate. I will say, when he was smiling, talking himself into an absolutely needless yellow card in the first half, he seems to have this smirk when things aren't going against us, that I don't know why he does it, but it drives me demented as well, mate. It drives me mad when I see him smirking. We're being outworked, outballed and battered out there on the pitch. Being outworked and he's done nothing. And he walks himself into a stupid yellow card and smirks about it. So I get where you're coming from, Brendan. I was angered by that moment as well. Shaqiri should have started. Why? He did fuck all when he came on, mate. He has one tool. He's one tool. Cut inside into his left foot and play a hit and hope cross to the edge of the 6-yard box. That's it. That's all Shaqiri has. That's his game. That's it. And we don't have Peter Crouch in the box. Shota can score a header now and again, so can Mane, but let's not make out that Shaqiri's a world beater here. Let's be fair about it. Firmino should have started ahead of him. Shaqiri is gone in the summer. Let's make no bones about that either. What else have we got? Mane seems very sluggish. Yeah, it's a fair point, Mohammed. It's a fair point, mate. He doesn't seem himself. And look, it happens. Players will go through ups and downs, and you know that happens. We have to accept that in football. That's a player's career. That's a long season, international travel. Stuff can happen, but you know you want effort at least. You want to see them busting a gut. You'll forgive a lot if you see players giving 100%. Do I think Shaqiri should be sold? 100%. Him and Origi have been unavailable to be sold, mate, for the last year. But we just can't get the money that we want for them. So make no bones about it. The two of them, if any offer comes in that deems acceptable, they're gone out the door. 100%. Thiago should have started. In hindsight, Cahill, yes. Now, as I said, I can't be a hypocrite on this occasion. I looked at the starting 11 and I understood the reasoning. I thought that with the legs of Gini and with the legs of Naby Keita, Klopp tried to wrestle the midfield, tried to overwhelm them, but Naby let him down massively. I mean, Gini didn't have a good game, but Naby really let him down. And it's very rare you see Klopp will make a first half decision. We were all screaming for it, but he did it, and he saw what we all saw, that Naby Keita was inept tonight, and he brought Thiago on. What have we got? Big second leg needed. We're still in this. And I agree, Musa. We are still in it, mate. It isn't all over yet. It's an uphill task, but we have it in us. We are capable of it. So we'll wait and see what the second leg brings. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night because I'm going to go and throw darts at the dartboard or something to get out some of this pent aggression. Please do me one favour before you head off if you're watching this back. We are on the march to 100k. We need your support to get there. You've been amazing for us for day one. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Drop a like on the video. Share your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. Don't forget about our Instagram, our TikTok and our Twitter accounts as well. It's just at Anfield Agenda on all of those if you want to search for us. I'll be back tomorrow with a late night agenda where I'll go through more of these games. It'll be earlier than normal because of course Jack will be doing a watch along of the PSG Bayern Munich game. Then I'll be back on Mundo Sporto on Thursday for a watch along of Granada against Manchester United. I'm sorry it didn't go our way tonight. I'm as angry and frustrated as all of you, but Madrid were the better team today and they deserve that win. And look, stay well, look after yourselves. Lots of love from my family to yours. Thank you for being with us. Again, do hit that subscribe button. Take care.